Graham Healy from Trade Canary Australia and New Zealand. This video is about demystifying option pricing. It's a very confusing subject on how they work the deltas and how they work the options over time, the option contracts controlling 100 shares, etc, etc, etc. The reality is, with Trade Canary, we use a different strategy regarding the options formula, which is called the Black Souls formula. So in this video you get a little bit of an insight into how Trade Canary operates a strategy that goes beyond where the framework of the normal options formula operates, and that's usually 1 to 3 months, where we take a strategy a lot longer than that, and there's reasons in this video why we do it and why it's part of the master strategy of Trade Canary. And you can sign up on our website to do a basic course where all this is carefully explained. Graham Healy over and out. Just go to Trade Canary AustraliaNewZealand.com and you can click on and sign up on the course there for only $75 a week. Thank you very much. Graham Healy over and out. Enjoy the video. If he didn't have a creative mind like he's got, you wouldn't have Trade Canary software, I'm telling you. So, when he says demystifying options trading, that's the image that he gave up there. I thought that was fantastic. So when we talk about demystifying options trading, just like I said a while ago, the different mindset with Trade Canary as versus to all the rest is that they're pushing the options contracts out long term. So what does that do for you as a as a basic trader, or as a person like myself, semi-retired, and is setting up another income stream? What it does, it takes the stress off options trading straight away. How does it do that? If you've got like trades sitting out a year out, it doesn't matter what's happening on a day-to-day basis. It can go up and down, which they do, but your time is 12 months. You've got 12 months to sit back, put your hands back, sit back and relax, and just watch the trades unfold. Now, the key is that you have a series of trades in your portfolio. I've normally got about 30. And then out of that 30, they will, you get a handful of them starting to peak. So what you do, it's like sowing seed. The way Eric and Trade Canary team do their trading is they're sowing seed all the time. They might be sowing seed and they're telling us what they're doing 3 or 4, 6 months ago. Some of these trades, it could be 12 months ago, that they looked at the potential and went, yeah, okay, we'll get a long-term call on this. And they just shuffle it into the portfolio. And, you're doing other things, you're moving on. And then suddenly that trade you did 6 months ago starts to hit the skyrocket. Now, that's how it works. I mean, I remember following a trade that Eric spoke about, was actually Intel, and then it had a peak, and I think I made $300 or $400 out of that, American dollars. It might be 500. And I just got on board when he said, I didn't understand the long-term strategy at that time, because what I was doing was, with another group, we're doing all the short-term stuff, and you sort of, your contracts were expiring all the time, and you were just sweating it out until it'd get to that particular time limit. But with Trade Canary, the stress is gone. You can look at the market go up and down all day, and you go, oh, yeah, okay, well, all right, that particular trade's starting to peak, then you focus on that one. So just imagine you got 30 trades, most of them all sitting there long term, and some of those ones will start to peak whether they're long term or not, because you've got the oscillation or the ups and downs, you've got it covered by an option that's a long-term option, or they call it a leap, and they're not expensive. And the other thing is, with the options pricing, Black Skulls formulas, when you put them out long-term, they go haywire. They do not read properly, because the modelling, the mathematical modelling, is focused on short-term. So they're only accurate short term. And the thing is, with short term options, they cost a lot of money. The closest you get to what they call in the money, or in an options delta terminology, delta being the time, when time runs out on a options contract, imagine the contract, that's a timeline, and the time is running out, right? The closer you get to the end of that options trade, the value of it is getting it'll either be, it'll be a winner where the option or the call option is going up in value, or it'll be a loser because nothing's happening with it. And then while it gets to the end of that contract, it'll wind up being zero. You've made no money out of it. You've just lost your premium, what it is, $130 or whatever. But if you've got a long-term, let me see if I get that in the screen, you've got there. You've got long-term contract, then this trade is going up and down, going up and down. If it goes right up, you can cash it in because you've covered it. You've covered it with a long-term contract. And you may, another term is roll that trade. In other words, you buy and resell it. You take the profit off the table and keep in the trade. And to keep that long-term contract, you push it out a little bit further. So here it is. We're going through, we go back here. We're going through an oscillation chart as it's getting towards the end of that timeline, right? Suddenly, 6 months in, boom, it hits a big earnings, a great earnings. So it goes up the top. That's when you sell your contract, or you might roll the contract. So you get the idea. So the long-term strategy of Trade Canary is the way to go, because you can sit back and just look at your chart. Like today, I had a trade with it's a automotive company that I picked off Trade Canary, and that trade, I think it cost me about 130 American dollars. It went up in 24 hours. It went up to about 350, almost 400 American dollars in 24 hours. Now, I could have sold that and made a cool 400, which is about 605 to 600 Australian dollars. I could have made that, but you know what? I had a long-term call on it. So I wasn't worried about that. I knew that this will go higher still. So that's the strategy. So now we're just, this demystifying options pricing is what, and as I say, I love these diagrams and all this stuff that Eric comes up with. This demystifying means that most people focus on the short-term options trading. We don't. We focus on the long-term options trading, which makes the Black Scholes mathematical model, it throws it out. So in other words, we can get cheap calls long-term because the modeling only focuses and only actually works short-term, relatively short-term, the month, the 2 month, or the 3 months trades. And once you go beyond 4, 5, 6 months, it can't read the options properly. So that's our advantage, not the system's advantage. That's one method, as Eric says, of actually gaming the system, so to speak, legally. Hi, Graham Healy from Trade Canary, Australia, New Zealand. Hope you enjoyed that video on demystifying options trading. Now, if you want to do a basic course on Trade Canary Australia, New Zealand, just go straight over to the website and click on pricing plans, and you can do a basic course for $75 a week by 8 weeks. And basically it's a 12-week course, but once you do that, once you join the website behind the scenes, you've got that membership there forever, so you can always go back to the educational videos. So Graham Healy over and out, and the price plans I'm bringing up right now, here they come. Okay, if you can't afford $8,390, that's for the subscription to Trade Canary itself, the software. However, you can purchase a plan I've got this as $500 up front, or $150, which is $75 a fortnight, or you can do $75 a week. So those plans are available on Trade Canary, and just flick over to the website now, and you see tradecanary.australia.com, or sorry, it's tradecanary.australia.newzealand.com, and just go for the pricing plan. You can join up, and we will see you on the other side of the education system. Okay, Graham Healy over and out. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.